So how you doing?
Hey, hi.
So how you doing? I asked.
Fine, thank you. Fine, fine.
So I'm Siddharth, and we just went live on Facebook a while ago, and we spoke to a bunch of students where they asked us a few questions which they wanted you to answer.
Okay.
So I'll start off.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Bibop. So how were you as a student when you were in college?
Oh, I was first very absent because
Okay,
I
that's
started to work very, very early. So I was trying to go to the lessons that I needed because the rest I was doing it by myself. I've always tried to um, break the system by actually doing my own study. Uh, the normal, if the teacher was not charismatic and it was teaching in an old way, it was making me so bored. So only few professors that I had engaged me in the right way and had my full attention. But I was actually very good in learning fast, and that's a gift I think that gave me a big advantage. Um, and I tried also to learn every possible way to speed up. For me, time was an enemy from the beginning of my journey because I didn't have enough time during the day to do all the things that I wanted to do when I was a student.
okay. So did you ever consider dropping out of college and then pursuing entrepreneurship as a career right from the very beginning? I mean.
Well, absolutely. I lost 1 year because I was working and I didn't add enough hours to actually be classified in the minimum amount of hour required to have. So I was having good scores, but not enough hours to be classified, and I had to repeat 1 year.
Okay.
So at that time, I was thinking to drop, but at that time they were repeating that I needed this piece of paper with the title, and
Yeah.
I became accountant programmer.
Okay. What
That
is
was one
that?
of
What
the
is that?
first.
What's an accountant programmer?
Exactly. So it was one of the first accountancy title. So it give you the authorization to actually become to manage the tax, for example, or the things that you need. But for the first time, they added a specialization in programming. So I'm a little bit old, not like you guys.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
23.
okay. That makes you a couple of years younger to me. Yeah.
So at that time, it was the beginning of the digital era. I'm really old, so I'm just giving you a hint of how old am I.
Okay, we'll Google that. We'll
But
Google your age.
my bastard assistant has just revealed my age.
Okay.
So it's just, yeah, I'm 46. So now you know it.
Okay. So you're 20 years older to me then.
I hate you.
Okay. But yeah, we'll stick to you being 2 years younger to me. We'll stick to you being 23.
Thank you so much. I
Okay.
really, really appreciate it.
Let's move on to my next question. Where exactly did your entrepreneurial journey start? Was it with the Bebop SPA, or did you do something else before?
My journey started as a programmer. So
Okay.
I was a very young programmer. I was lucky enough to have been selected to work for a multinational company that was a Canadian company. So they weren't afraid to employ young kids. We were a total of 8, and they were all below 18 years old, but I was the youngest. And at 15, I became head of software development of this company.
At 15, wow, that's
So yeah,
something. Yeah.
that was my first one. And with the money that I was making, I was making than my father, and also um, with the money I was making, I created a studio because I became a fan of hip hop and in general dance music. At that moment, it was the 90s. That was the coolest thing.
Like during the
And
hip hop phase.
yeah, so they made the big mistake. This multinational company, they made the big mistake to send me to study English in LA, but in San Bernardino. They thought LA was basically all the same, not knowing that San Bernardino is kind of a very dangerous place where all the gangs are. So in
Okay.
college, I met a lot of these people, and they made me get passionate about dancing, hip hopping. I was a street warrior, basically.
So that's how you got into the entertainment, because my little googling about you said you were also a radio jockey
Yes,
and
well,
you were involved with MTV or something.
yeah, I started as a let's say hip hop artist, but in reality it was more dance. I made a success with the dance music. Then I had my radio show and then my TV show in MTV. Yeah, I did 5 years. I did 21 records, and several of them went in the top 10.
That's
Six
great.
of them
Yeah.
went in the top 10. But I continued to work as a programmer, even if when I was in the top of the career, it was more than an hobby because I was making more money as an artist. But then I invested this money into my first company, that was Bibop. And that was the real start of my, let's say, entrepreneurial career.
All right.
So from there, I then sold the company to Telecom Italia, the biggest telco, and that gave me the possibility to have enough money to start to invest in other companies. And during my career, I created an incubator, invested in 70 companies, and I've had a couple of success, a lot of unsuccess.
Okay, because
a lot of failures.
You experience failures too.
Oh yeah. I screwed up a bad
when
time.
something fails, and how do you get back on track? How do you get back onto your feet?
But Italy is a little bit like India. They don't accept failure. When you fail, you're disgraced. You are in a position where everybody's pointing the finger at you, and they don't want to even have anything to do with you. So it's a good question. I think what I did is to actually trying always to capitalize from the experience and then reinvest this human capital into the next one. I was, I think, smart enough to try always to differentiate and to have a lot of experience. That's why I usually repeat to people of your age that in your age you probably shouldn't focus.
Shouldn't what? I didn't get you.
You shouldn't focus.
Okay, you should not focus.
You should have a no.
Okay.
Exactly the
Because
opposite that everybody
this is the opposite of what everyone says.
Yeah, because I think at your age you have to experience a lot of things, and you have to have even if you want to have a career, try to have a career that allow you to at the beginning be exposed of a lot of experiences, because that's what can make you competitive and also creative and innovative in a market that is bombarded by information. So focusing at your age will mean that someone else has choose for you, and this is not necessarily the things that you want to do or you're born with. Try various things, and then when at a certain point you have enough elements, then choose the sector where you're vibrating, where you feel that you can actually really contribute and evolve and progress, whatever the field it is. But right now, I would launch probably a message to the people that are listening and will listen to this. I know that it's very cool right now to create the next Facebook for cat or the next app that counts how many girls are in the specific area. It's noble, and we all like that. But I think humanity right now has a serious need, and your generation is the generation that can actually solve this need, because we have a big problem. We have pollution. We have to identify how to create energy, housing, food in a more efficient way. Unfortunately, my generation broke a lot of these industries, and you guys need to fix it. Now, I think what I'm doing is trying to solve transportation, right? But this is one of the equations that we need to solve. And I think your generation has the tools and the technology to do it.
So is that how you transition from being a software guy to something like Hyperloop? So how did your Hyperloop journey start?
Absolutely. It starts from a vocation that I always had to actually leave a mark that is substantial and also meaningful for humanity. My belief in a lot of my evolution is that we have done a lot of mistakes, starting from our economic system that is stupid and inefficient. Our economic system is based on...
You're talking about the country or just the world as...
No, the entire economic system that the world embraced. We embraced a system of unlimited resources in a planet that has limited resources. This has to stop, because this is a foolish. And I think humanity now has to switch into an economy of abundance, because technology allows us to have that. But we need to reestablish the entire cycle, the economic cycle. And you guys, you need to start to think on how to do it.
That's inspiring, just to put it in one word. And Bibop, what do you think of the potential of a technology like Hyperloop in a country like India?
I think Hyperloop, it's a disruptive technology, wherever you build it. But in countries like India, that's where you see the major benefit of a technology like this. Because India has a scarcity of infrastructure, a high density population, and the need for a better and more efficient way to move people and freight. I think India can be one of the first markets for us. And I hope that your government now give us a go, because we have several proposals on the table, and we need to make this actually effective and running as soon as we can.
Okay, and because India has a lot of engineering students and engineering grads, do you consider starting, how do I put it, your branch or something in India where you'll have Indian teams working here on it?
Absolutely. If you read the news, we're working to open a company there. And we're actually opening a program that is called Hyperloop Academy.
Okay.
That is specifically designed for young students and people that in general want to contribute to actually solve a lot of the aspects on the design and research and development on the Hyperloop. So what we are proposing in this program, and usually it starts with students that goes to the university and ask the university to actually embrace this program. So if there's enough push from the student, usually the university asks us to to bring it locally. And we are looking forward, honestly, to have more people from India. We have several team members now. They are working from India, but we want to actually open up the company and start the Hyperloop Academy.
And so we at StuMax, we can actually work on you. Work together with you on that, because we have a lot of reach in
Okay.
many colleges. So
Fantastic.
let's see if something works out. It'll be great.
Okay,
And
I
then
would love to.
I'll just go on to my next question quickly. Okay, in a realistic, idealistic way, what do you think is the timeline for a Hyperloop technology to be set up between one place to the other?
Sorry, I don't think I understood the question. What do you mean?
How long would it take to set up the Hyperloop transportation system between two cities?
Okay.
Let's say 500 kilometers.
Well, to actually answer seriously and scientifically at this question, I would answer we need to do a feasibility study, because it's different to build an Hyperloop in a desert like here in Abu Dhabi, or in a place where there's a lot of mountains and a lot of impediments in the ground. So these variables determines the length of the construction and also the time of the construction. So the routing and the speed profile defines a lot of these parameters. But in general, I can tell you that, depending on the budget that we have available, we can build 100 kilometers a year. And we can also speed up this process. Because with the new 3D printing technologies, we can actually build a pylon in 72 hours. Now imagine, instead of having one robot building a pylon, having 200 robots that at the same time build the pylon. So we can actually speed up the process of building a lot. But of course, you have to consider cost, opportunity, and the budget that you have available. But in the future, this kind of technology can actually bring us to build enormous infrastructure at the fraction of the time.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. We are out of time, but I'd love to answer
just
any
last
other
one quick
questions
thing,
you have. If
just
we
one
weren't
last
able
thing.
to get to all of them, maybe you could send. Do you mind just sending us an email with any remaining questions that you have, and I can pass them along and we can get them answered? Because it's great questions. I'd love to get to all of them, but we're just out of time. We got to hop on another call.
Alright, cool.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate the call.
Bye,
guys.
Looking forward to staying in touch.
Ciao, guys.
Alright.
Ciao, India.
Bye.
All right.